All right, what's up, guys? All
So
right,
what's
so
up?
we have another athletic, rather spotlight. I have two guys that played for Bob Jones High School out of Madison, Alabama. One, Harrison, that I've known since he was, I think, in seventh grade. I used to wear him out there in that 90-degree weather, working out and stuff like that. And then Ethan, I've known, I think, 3 years now. I've watched him grow a little bit in the game at the point guard position. These two are teammates. We have one more that's going to join a little bit later. He's caught in traffic. Their teammate Jacob is also going to join us. Um, sit back a little bit. E. I can't see your face.
Back.
Uh, Hold up. Fix your.
It's
Hold
the
on.
glare.
Yeah, you got
Hey, hold
it's
on,
kind
hold
of
on.
blurry on your side.
Hold up. The light in here kind of bad. How about now? Damn. Yeah.
Almost.
It's good work.
Almost.
I need to
Uh,
just like get in the way of the glare.
maybe turn her. I don't
Which
know.
way I need to go?
Maybe turn around. 'Cause I think the lighting is making it glare. I think.
Yeah.
There you go.
Bet.
Wait, hold up.
Let me know.
Is it working?
Yeah, it's working.
You see him? All
I see
right.
him.
Wait. All right. So we'll start with Harrison. Kind of take us back to the very beginning. Like, when you found that love for basketball, and
hmm
what got you started playing.
So basically, I would say just when I was little, I always liked playing basketball. I really liked football for the most part when I was growing up, and then
You were not no football player, boy.
nah, I was a football player. Actually, me and Ethan was just
I
talking
can
about
vouch.
this the
I can
other day.
vouch.
Oh Lord.
Well, I was a football player, and unfortunately, I got hurt in sixth grade. I tore my ACL, and I just kept playing basketball from there. Just never went back.
Mm. I do remember the ACL thing. I remember your dad telling me that when I first met you, but I didn't know it was from football though.
Yeah, it's from football.
I don't know if I believe that. I got to do some research on that. You man, how
hmm
long you been playing?
I started playing. I was three. And the reason I just kept making friends with basketball, so I just always had friends and family, and we stuck together. Harrison actually was my first. Like I started going to his house, then I started building relationships. So I'm here now. Kept playing.
That's what's up. So when did you know, Harrison? When did you know that basketball was something that you wanted to actually play at the next level, as far as like taking it seriously enough to go to college?
Um, for me, it was probably kind of around my, because I always wanted to be like really good at basketball, but I never like most kids don't want to go to the NBA, but you got to have like a realization that you actually got to do stuff to get to college. Like you can't just say. And when I actually started like doing stuff
Yeah.
to like work out, I've always worked out, but when I realized I have to go like even harder, it's probably around like my freshman year. I just
Okay.
realized I have to go a little bit harder to actually play in college and not just wish it. If that makes sense.
That makes sense. What about you, E man?
You can say the question one more time, Coach D.
Yeah. When did you realize that you wanted to play at the next level, like take it seriously enough to play in college?
Um, I say around sophomore when I seen when Caden came back, I realized like it was an attainable goal. Like just seeing that every day, that's what really made me want to go harder.
Okay. So what are y'all doing? Do you think that is making that goal achievable? What do you think you're doing day to day that's preparing you to be ready to go to that next level?
Um, I would say working out pretty much every day, just learning the game as much as I possibly can. Trying to get better every day, even if it's not like a basketball workout, just doing something physical every day, just
Yeah.
to keep building to the next level.
Yeah. What about you, E?
Just piggybacking off that, yeah. I seen that video, whatever, that 18 minute, whatever. Uh, you'll be 90%. Actually, Harrison brother Reese told me about that. That 18 minutes, you'll be above 90%. So just that and more, working every day.
Yeah. So do you think when you, 'cause I know you both are kind of starting at the beginning right now of your recruitment journeys. A lot of kids your age, D1 is of course I think the ultimate goal for a lot of kids. Do you think you've learned a lot more as far as what the different levels mean, and now D1 isn't as you know one and done as you think? Like you don't, it doesn't have to be D1. Like, do you now think you've learned a little bit more about other levels of the game?
Yeah,
Mm,
yes, sir.
totally.
Yeah.
Um,
'Cause I know Harrison, you were telling me that colleges were hitting you up. Some of them were D3s and D2s. I can remember probably around y'all's freshman year, eighth grade year, if a D3 was mentioned, y'all probably be like, "Oh, no, no,
yeah.
nobody's going D3." But now, what do you think about D3 schools now?
I actually like the idea of D3 schools now because a big part of it for me is education also. So wherever I can go to play basketball and hoop and just continue to further my education, that's fine with me. Especially in most D3 schools, they have a good education. They're high in academics. So
Absolutely, yeah. What about you, E?
For me, I mean, I always thought, I mean, basketball is just basketball, but now the way I look at it, it's all just, it's a journey. So it really don't matter where you play. You gotta get it where you go.
Yeah. So yeah, different levels. You got NAIAs, you have D2s, JUCOs. Now JUCOs you don't lose eligibility, so you're creating a opportunity to continue playing throughout. Really getting a masters. So you're creating that ball dribbling for a long time. Now overseas opportunities. So if you want to go professional, it doesn't have to be the NBA. You can go overseas. You can play in different leagues and still make money. Do you know anything about like overseas ball? Has any of your coaches or trainers ever like talked to you guys about those opportunities after college?
Not really.
um nah, not really. I've thought about it. Like it's one of those things like I got to get to college first and actually see how I'm feeling, what I'm going to do there to actually want to pursue that. But I mean, it's not something like I'm completely closed off to playing overseas professionally. But it just depends on what all happens and where the journey takes me.
Yeah. What are y'all planning on majoring in?
I'm trying to get a real
I don't.
degree.
Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
My bad. I'm trying to just get a realty degree. I know it's not really like you don't really need them, but I want to experience school. I want to go through the whole nine.
And what kind of degree you said?
Realty for real estate, like you can get a certificate for real, but it's a two
So
year.
you want to go into more like development?
Yeah, I'm trying to own like I want to own franchises like food chain and
Okay.
apartment complexes and like duplexes and stuff.
Okay. So we'll have to talk when we get off of here. Um, what about you? Said what you gonna major in, Harrison?
So I don't know what exactly. Yeah, I know I want to do something in health. So, the schools that are talking to me that like are big and like pre-health and all that stuff, like pre-med stuff, like that's the schools that like are piquing my interest a little bit more.
Okay. So you want to go into like sports therapy or more like nursing or surgery or
Probably not surgeon. See, I could do therapy, but it doesn't have to necessarily be for sports. It could be for any type of
anything?
person. Um,
That's
but
what's up.
yeah.
I like it. So what kind of schools, Ethan, have you kind of been looking at as far as wanting to pursue that degree field?
Um, You talking about just for that degree or just like my personal interest in school?
Mainly for that degree. So that'll be a word of advice I give you. You know, if you know what you want to do, I
Uh
mean, it may not always work out this way. You know, if you want to play basketball, sometimes you may have to go a path, you know, to get to where you want to go. Like the school you go to initially may not have the degree that you want. So you end up having to, you know, kind of take steps
huh.
to get to that school. But if you can, you want to go to a school that has your degree path already for you. So if you have a school that's looking at you and they have your degree path, that school should take precedence over any other school. Because if you can get to one place and call that home, that's what you want to do. You know, the idea is not to keep transferring, but if you can get to one place and they have everything you need from the way the campus looks, dorm life, campus life, organizations, the basketball team, the facilities, and they have your degree, you want to be there because as you grow, you're gonna have these professors and these mentors that you're going to build over the years. And they're going to help you get into positions when you get done. You know, you said you want to go into development. You may go to a school that has internships or something like that. So when you get out and it's time for you to take that real estate license course and
Mm.
take the exam, you'll have those connections to get you where you need to be. So you always want to, and you too, Harrison, you want to look at schools that have what you want, if you know that's what you want. You know, don't go somewhere and say, well, they're offering me so I'm just gonna go, and then you spend 4 years and you get a degree in something that you don't really want. Now you're spending 2 or 3 more years trying to get your actual degree that you want, and you're not playing ball no more, and that's coming out of your pocket. So I always look at the first thing. Um, Ask the coach, do they have your degree field? If they don't know, they'll send you a link to their academic courses. You'll look at that, and if they have it, you know, put them on your pros list. If they don't have it, don't stop talking to them, but just understand that hey, if I get something else, this will be kind of where I lean to. Um, so, have you been looking at any schools, E-Man?
Uh yeah, yes sir. But with me, like my whole thing is I only been looking at schools a little closer because I really don't want to be too far from my mama. So like ASU, Alabama State, uh, UNA. I really like UNA. Like even if it wasn't no basketball, I'd just go to UNA. I like Florence for some reason. Then UAB,
Yeah.
yeah, nowhere
Okay.
too far.
So you want to stay in Alabama for sure, or is there a certain amount of hours that you want to go?
The furthest I think I go is like Tennessee.
Tennessee.
Yeah, Tennessee.
Okay. So definitely, you know, it's a lot of schools in those in that range. You know, when it comes to different levels for that too. You know, so still kind of keep your options open. You know, and look at every single school that's around there, every single level, D3, D2, D1, NAIA, JUCO, and because if you're looking at going into real estate, the degree that you would get would be like I said, more like development stuff like that. That wouldn't have anything to do with your real estate license.
Uh,
So you can actually once you graduate high school, that summer you could take your real estate course, and you could be licensed by the time you start college. Echo Parks has entered the building
What's
oh,
up?
with hair on his head. Turn back the other way.
Okay.
Yeah, there you go. All right, so Jacob, we were just talking about what got everybody into playing basketball, how long they've been playing, some school type stuff. So we'll kind of backtrack a little bit, and we'll go with you with, you know, just letting us know how long you've been playing. Like, what got you into basketball, and at what age?
So I started basketball around 5 or 5. I grew up overseas. Grew My parents all
Hold on,
sport.
hold on a second.
Pick your phone up, Jacob. Pick your phone up.
oh
Pick
my,
your
you got
phone.
Is that better?
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Uh, yeah, I grew up overseas, so my parents just put me into all sports. So I played basketball, football, baseball, soccer. Soccer was actually my main sport for a while until I came back overseas, and it was kind of a culture shock for us because
in Germany, I used to be the tallest, the fastest, and then coming back over,
Yeah.
that's definitely not the case. But yeah, that's kind of where it all started with sports.
Okay. So when did you realize that basketball was the main sport?
Probably around seventh grade, going into first year of middle school basketball.
Okay.
Uh, I tried out for the soccer team in seventh grade, and I tried out for the baseball team in seventh grade. And I had stopped playing baseball once I moved. I moved back to the United States fifth grade, so I was in fifth grade, and I just stopped playing baseball entirely. So that was just it was kind of a long shot, and then soccer, I wasn't really playing like that. I was just playing to play. It wasn't
Yeah.
really competition for me, but I had a special love for basketball.
Okay. So when did you realize that basketball was something that you were going to take serious enough to play in college? Did you know that in seventh grade, or did that happen sometime after?
That was probably around ninth grade year,
Okay.
freshman year. I knew the first step was getting on varsity, so we were all playing together on freshman basketball, and then going into our sophomore year, we got moved up to varsity.
Yeah, I remember. So all of y'all really said the same thing as far as when y'all started taking it more serious. So with y'all being teammates and being friends, do you think that you getting serious about it around the same time has to do with you guys being together? You kind of follow, like being kind of that friend group, all kind of getting serious at the same time. Do you think that played a part in it?
Yeah, I definitely think we all decided to lock in and get better together, going into the gym before school,
Yeah,
staying late after school, training, working out, lifting. It was very cohesive as a group.
yeah. Okay. So for you, do you know what you want to major in?
Business.
Business. Okay.
Yes,
You
sir.
want to own your own business?
Yes, sir. I do.
What kind of business?
I also want to be a pilot, so I want to have a private pilot business where I charter out planes.
Oh, that's what's up. You gonna come to Atlanta and do that?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna need a private jet by the time y'all get out of college.
Okay. I
Yeah.
got you.
All right. So I've seen you post a couple of offers. So any of those schools have the degree field that you're going into?
Yeah, they both do.
Okay. What other schools have you been talking to?
I've been talking to Cornell, UAB, Army, the Air Force Academy, uh, UAH, or Stillman, Lipscomb a little bit, uh, Calhoun. Yeah, I think that's about it.
That's about it. You name
Yeah.
50 schools. Okay. So we were talking. I was just talking to Ethan and Harrison about the same thing as far as degree fields. What you want to go into, and I was just telling them just a little bit of advice as far as business is um, a pretty normal degree field to go into. So most schools are going to have that. But I was
Yeah.
just telling them, always put the schools that have your major as a priority. Always put them a little bit higher on the list because you don't want to go to a school that doesn't have it, and then you end up having to transfer, or you end up graduating with one degree and having to go back and get another degree. So I
Yeah.
always just think about that whenever these schools are texting you or calling you. Let that be like one of the first questions you ask. It's cool to know about the facilities and stuff like that, but if they don't have your major, or if your major isn't accredited, or if there is 100 kids in every classroom, those are the
Yeah.
things you really got to think about. When it comes to what's going to allow you to learn and what's going to allow you to set yourself up for ultimate success at the end of college.
Okay.
So now that we're all on here, we can get into a little bit now about the season that you guys have coming up. I know this past season, you guys made a big splash. Y'all beat Huntsville in the Huntsville Times. How was that moment for y'all, being the team that took out the team that everybody had kind of already slated as the champions when that thing first started? How did that feel for y'all? Anybody can start.
I'll start. I basically just say every time I look back and think of those 3 days of that tournament, I look back and think that was probably like the funnest. not funnest because funnest is not a word, but the most like fun time of high school basketball that I've had so far.
Yeah,
Um, just getting to beat them and celebrating. And I remember it was like 50 something seconds left, and they had just hit like two big shots,
yeah,
and we were down by like 7 points. And I remember like seeing the whole gym the
yeah,
uh, walk out the
Everybody started leaving the gym.
yeah,
walking out the building, yeah.
Hey,
And then Ethan hit the first 3 pointer, and then like we were
And
still going hard. Our team was going hard, so Ethan hit the first 3 pointer that cut the lead down to four.
I
Then
got the
Caden,
steal, passed it
yeah,
to K.
I
yeah.
got the
Caden
steal, bro.
second
And
one.
then Jay Smooth hit the three that tied it up. I hit the three that
No,
I
Caden
got
hit
the
it.
three to tie it up, bro.
And then obviously the shot with Eric, and
Yeah.
just thinking about that moment, like that was probably one of the best times I've had in college basketball. I mean, not college, high school basketball.
Listen,
Definitely.
I will say, I didn't get to come to a lot of y'all's games. I got to see y'all when I could, but I will say like for me, that was the best time of basketball that I've seen in Huntsville for a very long time. It's been very, and not to not any slack towards them at all because they built that program up the way it needs to be built. But it's been Huntsville pretty much for the last 5 years. It's all years Huntsville. Much like in Birmingham, the most areas you hear about Hoover. Up here, up in Huntsville, it's more about Huntsville. So to see you guys, a team that, especially for me, seeing kids that I've watched for a very long time have that moment, get on the biggest stage in the city
Yeah.
and show that type of grit. Because like you said, people were leaving. It was pretty much over for everybody. Even I feel like even Huntsville felt like it was over. Because what do you do once you're down by seven and there's less than a minute left? Most teams would be like, we're not going to be able to come back against Huntsville. But the way that you guys stepped up was crazy. Y'all took that momentum into that championship game, and I mean, I don't know what to say. Like it was some good basketball. That was the best basketball I saw all season long.
Mm.
So did that tournament kind of set you guys a different expectation, as far as the rest of the season? Because you go into the season, you're like, some teams are like, state is the goal. Some teams are like, we just want to win 15 games. You know, did that tournament win kind of change what your expectation was for the rest of that season?
I feel like it was
We
supposed to,
kind of
but we started going up and down after that.
Yeah,
We started getting. I'll say we started getting relaxed. Like
Yeah, like
we thought the classic was it.
yeah, that was
yeah,
like
In the
that's
back
what we
of
thought
our
be
mind,
yeah.
we
yeah.
were feeling ourselves a little too much.
Well, I always say, it's good to you think about like the think about Alabama as a football program. When you go into Alabama, you're amongst the best. You know what I'm saying? The program itself, you're amongst the best. So it's okay to know that, but you always have to realize there's a target on your back. So once you have those big games, I know Jacob had a few big games in that tournament. Once you do that, you're now everybody's target. Everybody has to figure out how do we beat them, what's their weaknesses. We have to go at them, and they're going to give you their best shot every single time. So, like
Yeah.
you said, if you're not coming out with that same mentality that you had in the Huntsville tournament, you're going to struggle against a lot of teams. And I know I watched y'all play. Y'all lost to? Was it Sparkman? Is the game I saw? And I remember Noel, y'all's little fan. He was upset. He was upset that game. But that's the kind of moments, once you get to that peak, you have to figure out what your identity is. 'Cause I feel like the Huntsville Times was a tournament that Huntsville was supposed to win. So that game for y'all was more like, we're going to prove a point. But then after that, what's your identity? And so I think going into this season and even this summer, I challenge you three, because you're the seasoned guys on that team. I challenge y'all to start this summer and figuring out what's going to be our identity. Who are we going to be as a team? Because then, no matter what happens, no matter who you go against, you fall back on that identity. You're not trying to prove a point to anybody. Like it's not, oh, we gotta play like this to beat this team. but then we can play like this to beat this team. You always play to your identity. And if you do that, if you beat the best team by playing yourself, then you're going to beat the weaker teams easily. And I think
Yeah,
that's what, I challenge you guys to do that. And I'm going to check back with y'all later on uh, this summer. And I'm going to see if y'all can tell me what your identity is. And that's not something that your coach can tell you. Sometimes it is, but that's something I challenge you guys to figure out. Because you're gonna be the starters. Um, you gotta carry this team. You're the seniors, so the identity you set this year is gonna be what carries Bob Jones for the next decade.
yeah. We're definitely we definitely still have a target on our backs because coming up, it's always been like we've been the one, or we've been the two or three option, even four. But now it's
Yeah,
only us left, so we're the best on the team. So that's what the scouting report is going to be about. It's going to be about us.
yeah. So since y'all are the seniors now, do you think where do y'all think y'all kind of rank as far as one in your area, and then two just in the city as a whole? Where do you think y'all rank?
We're
I
definitely
think
top
right now,
top of the top.
yeah, I think right now we're at the top. I think we can go with anybody. I feel like you were talking about our identity, and you challenge us to working on an identity, forming an identity. Um, right now, I would say we're working on just like coming out and playing hard every single time we play, being energetic, being loud, playing the right way,
Yeah,
taking all of that.
Communicating too.
hmm
communicate. Yeah,
And actually being like a team that wants to play with each other. I feel like that's the identity that us three especially want for the team, and that's what we're trying to ensure in like all these other guys on the
right.
team. And I feel like if we can do that and figure that out, I think we'll be just fine for the season.
Yeah, I mean,
We're definitely trying to uplift the younger guys too, because we have a lot of young kids coming up off of JV, and I mean it's their first year, so we have to show them what's right from wrong.
yeah, and you do that with action. And I know you guys know this because you were freshmen once, and then you got on varsity your sophomore year. So you guys know, being the youngest, you're looking at those leaders not only to kind of show you how to be on varsity, but you're looking at them to figure out what's okay, what's not okay, what can we do, what can't we do, what's coach going to be mad about, what's he not going to be mad about, you know, what are we allowed to do. So you have to set that tone, with those younger classmen by your action. So y'all saying y'all want to be an up tempo team, you want to be loud, you want to be aggressive. That has to be every single day in practice. And when you notice, even if your coach don't say anything, I know Starkey's still there, right?
Yep.
So I know
Yes, sir.
I don't know if he's that soft spoken in practice or anything, but if you know he's not going to always get on you, you guys have to get on yourselves. All right. So Harrison, you can't let Ethan slack. Ethan, you can't let Jacob slack. Jacob, you can't let Harrison slack. Like it has to be every single day, so that when you get in the game, once again, you know what your identity is. Now you know when it's not right. Because right now you get out there and it's like, dang, E Man might be having a bad game, but how do you lift E Man up? If you don't do it in practice, you're not gonna be able to do it in the game. Because
Yeah,
now you're competing against his mindset, and you're competing against the crowd, and you're competing against that other team. So now you're gonna get frustrated with him because you can't get through to him. Now you're frustrated, so it all goes downhill. So you got to figure that out in practice. And E-Man and Harrison and Jacob, y'all got to be vocal to your teammates about what's going on with you. You know what I'm saying? Like if you know you're having a bad day, express that stuff. You know what I'm saying? Be transparent because that's gonna show in your game. So you want to be transparent and you want to kind of build those bridges with each other so you can hold each other accountable. And so you take that criticism and you don't get mad about it. You don't get frustrated with each other about it. You take it and you build from it. And that's going to make y'all unstoppable. Because as far as your class, I mean, I think Hazel Green has a decent senior class. I don't know who the other seniors are. I just know Makai and the point guard.
Ledger.
Yeah,
Austin.
Yeah,
Yeah.
oh,
So I
that's
don't
awesome.
know. It's between y'all. Y'all have some really tough senior classes.
Yeah, I was gonna ask
So
you, Coach D, where do you think we rank? Where you think we rank in this?
Um, I haven't seen Huntsville. I kind of know who they have just based off of what they had last year.
Yeah.
But if I had to go based on what I know, I would put y'all probably at the top. I think that y'all are going to compete a lot with JC just because they're JC. I don't know who they have coming back, but they're always coached very, very tough. So JC's always going to be a rival for y'all, and that's going to be one of those things where if you're not playing to your standard that you have to set, then those are games that you can slip away from.
Yeah,
And I think that's what happened last year. Is as a kid, y'all don't realize there's a standard that Huntsville already has. You know what I'm saying? Like their coach set that standard, so now they know what they have to do. You guys are tasked with the responsibility to kind of set that standard for yourselves. And so you
right.
have to know what that standard is. And if you decide that, to me, your standard is that Huntsville game, I would go back and look at that game over and over and over and over again and look at where those ups were and where those downs were. Fix those downs and then always play to those ups. And you're the number one team in that area for sure. And you're the number one team in that city if you do that. Because I don't know too many teams that have U3's ability, and then I know y'all have MJ, and y'all have a couple other pieces. Your little brother Reese is playing, like so. Y'all have some pieces, and as far as team wise outside of the sport, I think y'all are probably one of the closer net teams that I've seen. Y'all actually spend time together. Y'all grew up together. Y'all seem like y'all actually like each other. So that makes a big difference when it comes to wanting to play together. Nobody's
Yeah,
jealous of the other. Because I've talked to each of y'all individually, and I remember when Jacob had that big game. I don't remember seeing Harrison's face look disappointed because it wasn't him. I don't remember E-Man looking disappointed because it wasn't him. So those are the things that make a team good. Is understanding that hey, it's him today. It could be me tomorrow. Or it may be him every single game. But you know what? I know my role and I'm gonna play it. We're gonna win games. So I would say definitely up there at the top. I haven't seen Huntsville, but I always put Huntsville in the mix because of who they are.
Yeah.
They're
yeah.
well coached and but
I think we might have them first game of the season. I think.
oh,
That's
you can
how that's how it was last year for us. I think
really?
that's also what it. That's how we came into the Huntsville game
Yeah,
Yeah.
for the classic, knowing that we wanted to get. We knew how it felt to lose the first game of the season.
yeah,
We came into the game with a chip on our shoulder, knowing that we had all our pieces. We were all we needed,
yeah.
and that's really what drove us those last couple seconds in that game.
See, I might have to make a trip for that. I didn't know that was the first game of the year.
Yeah, but it might be about Jones this time, so
Oh,
it'll be
really?
packed.
Yeah, I might come to that. I might come to that. I think, but that's going to set. I think that's going to set the tone for the year for both of your programs, though. I
Hmm.
Yeah,
think win or lose, first game's always tricky depending on who you're playing. If you're playing a top team, like y'all seem to do every year. Cause I remember even when my boy was at Bob Jones when I first moved there, I think they played somebody first game of the year. Like it's always a hard game for Bob Jones, the first game of the year. So for me, I always say that sets the tone as far as where you're gonna go the rest of the season, win or lose.
yeah,
Because it's not a knock to say I lost to Huntsville. You know what I'm saying? Like it's not embarrassing to say I lost to Huntsville, but it's a great momentum booster either way to say I won. If we win, now we have to keep going. If we lost, now we have a chip on our shoulder. So either way, you can take that and go with it, whichever direction. So
Hmm.
I definitely think I can make it to town for that one though. I'll get your schedule and come to that because that's gonna be good.
I know our program, just in general, like we don't have an easy schedule.
No,
We like to play the best of the best, the top teams to prepare us for the postseason.
yeah, yeah, y'all. I mean, in your area is competitive. Your area is very, very competitive. Even like I don't think there's ever been a down season for your area. Right now Huntsville's the supreme in their area. There's no supreme in y'all's area. There's always going to be competition between all the teams, and it can go either way every year. You don't really. know for a fact that when JC and Bob Jones play, you don't know who's gonna win.
Hmm.
You know, no matter what the record
Well,
shows.
I don't know about that one.
Uh
You know,
oh.
Hey, look, the
Uh
last
oh.
2 years, I'm pretty sure we didn't won more than we lost to JC.
definitely.
Definitely.
I'm pretty
Yeah.
So
sure. Let me see.
did
Sophomore
y'all,
year, we split, right?
Sophomore
But
year, it was
no, we
one and
went
one.
two
We
and one.
split.
We went 2-1 because we lost to them in the classic. We played them at like 10 in the morning and lost. So they had us 2-1. And then this year, did
and
we?
then what about last year? Did y'all beat them each time?
I'm pretty sure
But
we
it
beat
was
them
it was 2-1. It was 2-1 last year
2-1
too.
this year or last.
Yeah.
Wait, did we beat them
Same.
Nah, I think it's split. I think it's split.
this
I
year? We
think it's split.
split.
No, because I think we lost to them twice,
Huh?
sophomore year, and
Yeah,
then but we beat them twice. We beat them twice junior year.
and once, yeah.
So,
So
so
it's three.
y'all never know who's gonna win then.
Yeah, it's split. It's split.
Oh, then you gotta get back on.
Hmm.
So I mean, so that's a good. And who is Florence and Austin? No, yeah, Austin, right?
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
Yeah, y'all got a tough area, very tough.
Hmm.
I don't know who Austin has this year. I think they lost pretty much everybody. I think Harry Malone was the last for them. Florence, I think their seniors are graduated.
Hmm.
I mean, I think this is the year for y'all to figure out what it is y'all want to accomplish. For sure. Of course, if you come out first, it sets a tone for your playoff run. You're gonna have a better bracket going into the playoffs. But I mean, I don't know. It's gonna be interesting to see though. 'Cause I've watched y'all for a long time, so it's gonna be interesting to see what y'all do for your senior year. So, what goal do you have for this year though? Talking about playoff runs and stuff. Like, what's the expectation for your team?
Sorry about that. My phone had overheated.
No, you good.
Uh,
Individually or just for the team?
Let's go team first. Like, what would be your
Team
expectation for the
first.
team? Yeah.
I say our expectation for the team is to get out and win games and show people that we're winners, that we want to win. Definitely making it to Wallace. The last 2 years, kind of been disappointments.
I ain't
Especially
never.
last year after winning the Huntsville
Classic.
Times. Definitely getting to Wallace this year, and then just making a deep playoff run after that. Um, and then for me, I don't know about everybody else, but for me on the team, I want to win the Huntsville Classic again. That's what I want to do
Okay.
as a
Two
team.
in a row.
I agree.
Be
I
in that
agree. I agree.
environment.
So nobody's won two in a row. Well, Spartman did it. Spartman went back to back. Who else is? I don't think anybody. Who's won two in a row? I don't think many people go back to back.
Let me see.
Um,
That'll be
Let me go
big.
look. Let me go look at the trophy. You see.
Yeah, I think Spartman went back to back with Will Hawkins. So that'd be big. So what's your expectation, E man? Expectation for the team and then
Uh,
expectation for yourself.
for the team, much like Harrison said, I definitely got us winning area. I know you said our area tough, but I think we go. I think jinx it, but I think we got it. And then yeah, just going far. I haven't been to Wallace yet, so for my last time, we got to go far because they're gonna be my first and last
Yeah.
time. And then for me, really just being the best me I can be out there, standing up the team. I think what I want to focus on this year is like my vocalizing to the team and my delivery and how I speak to my teammates on the court.
Yeah.
Just trying to be a more vocal leader.
Okay. I'm gonna
That's
hold you to that. I'm gonna hold you to that. I'm gonna be watching. I'm gonna be checking up on you too. What about you, Jacob? What's your expectation for the team and the expectation for yourself?
Me personally for the team, of course, I always want to win, but that's not my main priority. As long as we all compete together. At the end of the day, win, lose, or draw, as long as we're working cohesively towards one goal, regardless of having a long playoff run. Uh, personally, I really just want to make either all state the South North versus South game or the what is it, Alabama versus Mississippi.
Okay. And Harrison, I don't think I got your individual. What would be your goal for yourself? Uh, you
He
gone?
he lagging too now.
There you go.
There you go.
Can you hear me?
Very bad.
Harrison.
It's because of the storm. It's raining down there, ain't it?
I
Yeah,
think it's not raining
Yeah.
around me though.
you know you deep in Triana.
Yeah, it don't rain. It don't rain. It's weird.
Oh yeah, y'all live all that land. So we'll wait. So Harrison get back on here. But while we're waiting on him, so we're gonna play a word game. All right, to end the segment. So
Okay.
basically, what's gonna happen is I'm gonna give you a topic, and you have to name 9 things in that category. So if I say name uh, birds, you have to name 9 types of birds. I'm not gonna say
Okay.
that because I doubt that y'all would know birds, but that would be kind of what it is. Like whatever the category is, you name at least 9 things in that category. There
Okay.
you is. You hear me, Harrison?
Yeah, I can hear you. It was going out there. My phone was overheating too.
Yeah, y'all.
We finna play the
y'all
game. We finna play the game.
Oh, okay, okay.
yeah. All right. So the game is it's a word game. So if I whatever category I give you, you have to name 9 things in that category. So like I was telling them, if I say name birds, y'all have to name 9 types of birds, and y'all trying to work together. But the person who names the most out of that category gets a point for that category, and then the
Yeah.
winner. Uh, I don't know. I'm gonna figure out what to send to y'all. Whoever wins.
All right.
Okay.
All right. And the trick is you got 9 seconds to do it.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh,
All right. So first category: name Division 1 colleges in the SEC. Well, they're already one. Name SEC teams. Go.
Wait,
Tennessee, Auburn,
Alabama,
Ole Miss,
Alabama,
South
Tennessee,
Ole
Carolina,
Miss,
South
South
Carolina,
Carolina.
Alabama,
Florida.
Florida,
Um,
Mississippi
I always
State,
say,
Oh,
Kentucky.
Time's up. Time's up. How many you got? 8.
I
Did
got
you
8.
say something, Jacob?
I got about 5.
How many you get? Even 4. All right. 1 point for Harrison. All right. Name makes of cars. Makes, not the model. The make.
like what
Go.
weekend?
Uh,
Chevy, Subaru,
Toyota, Honda,
Toyota,
Ford,
Volkswagen,
Jeep,
Honda, Ford,
Volkswagen,
uh,
Porsche,
Tesla,
Jeep,
uh,
Ford, Chevy,
uh,
Uh,
Mercedes.
and time.
this is a good one.
I
You
got
got
8.
6, E-Man. You got 7, Harrison.
I only got
What's yours,
3.
What's yours, Jacob?
8.
All right. Jacob got that one.
Hey, I did not hear you at all, Jacob. I'm on the
I can
other
hear him.
station.
I hear him.
Okay, 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 okay.
All right. Name types of spices or
Oh,
seasonings. Spices or seasonings that you
Paprika,
cook with.
oregano, onion powder, um,
Nutmeg, cinnamon,
nutmeg,
um,
paprika,
cinnamon,
salt,
pepper,
pepper,
salt, onion powder,
dirt,
garlic
onion
powder.
pepper, cayenne
lemon
powder,
pepper.
Hey, I got 9.
Uh,
cinnamon spice.
uh, you ain't got all 9.
I got 9.
I
Did you
got
get
mine.
9?
I got mine
What was the
correct.
last 2 you said?
Cinnamon spice, and then jerk.
Oh yeah. How many you get, Harrison?
One.
One, you could have thrown salt and pepper out there.
Onion
What, what was the one you got?
I just said onion pepper. That's what Ethan was
Onion
saying.
pepper.
Onion pepper.
Onion
That's what
powder.
I heard. I don't know. I don't know nothing about the spices, bro.
We know Harrison don't be in the kitchen at all.
You need to
All
get
right,
some
so that's the tie
more.
between Jacob and E-Man. All right, so right now it's 2. Jacob got 2. Harrison got 1. E-Man got 1. All right. Name.
Hey, you should actually do
Oh, I got
birds. You should actually do birds.
Nah, don't do that.
you know. Are you looking it up?
No, I just
Yeah.
when you
Yes.
said it,
Yes.
when you said it, I named like three birds off the top.
Do dinosaurs. He got dinosaurs.
Do dinosaurs.
I
Dinosaurs.
don't, I don't know no dinosaurs.
Okay, I got one. Name school mascots in the city of Huntsville, Harvest, the whole area. School mascots.
Patriots,
Patriots.
Patriots,
Jets,
Jets.
Panthers,
Panthers.
Senators,
Reds,
Senators.
Panthers,
Falcons.
Senators, uh, Commanders.
Black Bears, Falcons,
Tigers. Black Bears.
Tigers. Uh, I
Yeah.
got nine already. I
Hawks.
Oh my
got
God.
nine already.
What?
I got nine already.
Um,
I
all
got
right,
8.
E-Man got 5. How many did you get, Jacob?
I got 8.
8. All right, Harrison got that one. So 2, 2, 1. E-Man, you got to catch up now.
I'm finna get this one right here.
All right. Name. Okay. Name schools that have won state championships in Alabama.
Huntsville. I mean not Huntsville.
Hoover.
Hoover. Bob
Hoover,
Jones.
Bob
Well,
Jones.
And
It had to be 7A.
No.
Bob
Sparkman.
Jones. Sparkman.
Uh,
Sparkman.
JC.
Lee
Barber
Martin.
has not won a
Wait,
state
you said
championship.
Huntsville. Wait, Sparkman never won.
Uh,
They've never
3,
won.
2,
Coach Higgs
1.
won that Sparkman. I got two though.
No,
Coach Higgs.
no, Coach Beasley.
gotcha.
No,
I
he
got
made it
3.
to the finals. They lost in the finals.
I got
Harrison,
3.
wait, you got three Harrison? Oh, you got
Name your 3.
Jake got three. He got more than me.
I got Bob Jones, JC, and Hoover.
JC haven't won.
no.
No, JC lost.
He said in Huntsville
Uh,
or in Alabama.
I said in
I mean no
Alabama. JC lost.
state championship. I'm tripping. Wait, in
JC
that case,
lost. JC didn't win.
all right.
in that
Yeah,
case,
so
I
I got
that's
win.
2. 2,
I
I
2.
got
got 2.
I got three.
Who got 3?
I don't know if this team won, but I threw a random school out there.
Who?
I said Bob Jones, Hoover, Lee Montgomery.
You
They didn't win. This old man was telling me about them. They won before.
They have won. Yeah. All right. So all right, so it's tied. Perfect.
Tie it up.
So it's a tie right now. 2, 2, 2.
Last game
This
All
is
right.
last.
This is all. This is it.
for all the
Alright.
marbles.
Name athletes that have been on the Vertimax with me.
Oh, Tyreek,
Me,
Tyree,
Tyreek, my brother Ethan,
Ethan,
Corbin,
Reese,
Jacob,
Corbin,
Josh,
Josh.
Will Hawkins.
Jaden, Hayden, Jakai, Cam. I already got 9. There's no way.
Down.
I already got 9.
Bro,
How many did you get, Jacob?
I got 8.
How many did you get, E-Man? 4.
4. I couldn't think. I ain't gonna lie. I went blank.
And you got 9. I think Harrison did like 20.
Yeah, Harrison.
All right, so Harrison won. So I'm gonna see what I'm gonna send you as a prize. But I'm gonna send all of y'all something for your season though, and I'm gonna try to make it down for that Huntsville game.
Mm-hmm.
But before we get off, I want each of you to think about what you would say to your 14-year-old self. The end of your 8th grade year, you're getting ready for freshman ball. All right, you know who you were then, you know what you were thinking. So knowing what you know now and where you're at and what you've accomplished and what you're gonna accomplish this year, what would you tell your 14-year-old self? We'll start with
Uh,
Jacob. Go ahead.
Go
Yeah,
ahead.
you good?
definitely put your head down and stay in the lab. That's pretty much it. It's just straightforward, simple, because it's a long process to where we got to get and where we want to go.
Yeah,
It's just a lot of work that needs to be done, but enjoy the process as well.
absolutely. Who
Harrison,
wants
you
to
go
go
next.
next?
Harrison, you go next.
Go next. I would say the biggest thing is eat. Eat as
Yeah.
much, eat as much as you can.
Yeah.
Eat in the weight room. I say that's probably the biggest thing. Second, make connections. Make
Yes.
as many connections as you can. with other people, talk to other people, learn more, and then three, um, kind of like what Jacob said, just keep your head down. Work. It's a long process. That other people are gonna talk. Don't listen to what they're saying. Just like I said, just being, consistent. Just keep on working and
Yeah,
stacking those days, and then once those days stack up, you start to see a little bit more, see
I
results.
got one more. Don't compare yourself to others.
I like that.
That
I
much.
like that.
Go
What
ahead,
about you, E man?
All I just say is keep the main thing. Keep hooping. Don't let don't let outside distractions get in your way.
Yeah, I like it. And that and a lot of kids, they hear those things, but they don't really take them as serious because you're young. You're young. You think you have a lot of time left, but you guys see just how fast high school goes.
Oh yeah, don't rush
Because
it either.
you're
Definitely don't rush.
yeah,
Enjoy it. Enjoy it. Enjoy all of it.
live in the
enjoy
moment.
every moment, live every single moment. You guys, I want to challenge you one more thing to stick together. You know, as you go into this last year, you understand you have less than a year left until it's all over for you, as far as high school is concerned. In order to set yourself up for that next level, you have to understand it's going to take you guys working together, but it's also going to take you all individually kind of getting in the mirror and talking to yourself about what it is you really want to accomplish and what it is you're willing to sacrifice to make that happen for yourself. So I challenge you guys to take this as far as you can take it. I want to see all of y'all on signing day, and I want to see all of y'all playing at the next level. And then I'm challenging you. I want to see every one of you. I want to see you with your own business, Jacob. I want to see you in the medical field, Harrison. And I want to partner with you, Ethan. Since you get into real estate, you can come up here and do some work with me. Um, that right there, you saying that, and we'll talk a little bit more later. But E-Man, knowing right now, I was his age when I said I wanted to do real estate. I'm now 20 years past that, and I'm just now going into real estate because I allowed so many outside forces to tell me what I should be doing, what way I should be going. You can only coach, you can only do this, you can only do one thing at a time. So I'm challenging y'all, if you know what you want to do, go do it. All right? Don't let anybody tell you that you can't. Don't let anybody tell you that you need to do it a certain way. Go out there and do it. All right?
Yes, sir.
As far as this summer, have y'all lost a game yet? Who's
Yeah,
y'all
I
losing
wasn't there. I wasn't there for
we
that.
lost
I'm
our
just gonna
first
put
game. We
that out
lost our
there.
first game, man.
to
I wasn't
who?
It,
there for
do- it
that.
doesn't matter to who, but we lost.
It really
To
don't.
I
who?
was on a I was on an unofficial to earn me. I wasn't a part of that one.
Wait, who'd y'all lose to?
We lost to Lee, Coach
Lee,
D.
Lee Huntsville?
Yeah.
Oh boy. All right, so no more losses this summer. Let's win the Huntsville Times. Let's win the area. And I want to see y'all definitely at Wallace, but I want y'all to
bring it
make
all.
me. I want
Bring
y'all
it
to make
all.
me have to go to the BJCC. Make me have to get passes to go down there to Birmingham to see you guys play.
Yes,
All
sir.
right. This is your last year. Leave everything out there. All right. Hold each other accountable. Keep each other focused. No outside distractions. Take it as far as you can take it. All right. I'm
All right.
proud of y'all. I'll be watching any game I can't make it down there too. I'll be watching on NFHS. So I'm gonna be texting y'all if I see that y'all ain't playing to the standard, and I want to know what the standard's gonna be too. So
Yes, sir.
before this week is out, I want y'all to let me know what the Bob Jones standard is gonna be, and I'm gonna watch and see if I see that standard.
Hmm.
All right.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
All
All
right.
right.
All right. Y'all be easy. Don't hang up right when I get off. Let it save. But other than that, I appreciate y'all getting on. I'll talk to y'all later.
All right,
All right.
Coach.
All right.